Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So what we're going to try and do is get the front grille sanded and glossed this evening, so we can try and get back on the car tomorrow, but I'm thinking about leaving it probably at least a day off to probably dry, but I've got to drive to work tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, let's get cracking now. So I've currently got a wet and dry paper, a couple of different sheets, and then we've got the gloss paint. I've already done this once, so I'm not going to give it a base coat. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Hopefully the sanding it will just bring it down to almost a stage where I can just gloss it, but you can see on some of the edging was really bad. We just bobbled. I didn't leave it long enough to dry, so I'm going to try and leave it off, but with the weather closing in, I prefer to have the grill on driving to work, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Let's get cracking. So I've got a number of different grades within the pack. I'm going to start with the heaviest and work my way down just to give it a good finish. So we've got the different sheets here. We've got the 240, 600, 800 and 1200, so we'll just go in order just to give it a good finish, ready for glossing. And I've got a pad to do the final coat, final sanding, like super fine, once I'm finished. So let's get on with this. Right guys, so started with the 240. Managed to get out some of the perfections. I don't want to go too far back because it's already got a layer of primer. Then it was glossed a number of times, but what actually happened the first time I did this is I rushed it. Ended up bubbling, not leaving it again too long to dry, and then when I put it on the car, the heat then blistered essentially the paint. So I mean, it didn't look that bad, to be honest, once it was on the car, but that was done last summer, so I always wanted to get it redone again. So the 240 has brought it back. As I say, if I go too far, I'm going to end up going right back, and this isn't going to be in proportion. So I'm not too sure. I'm going to go with the next stage of 600. We'll see where that gets us, but yeah, I mean, there's still some imperfections in it. We'll see what happens on the next couple of sands, see if we can bring it back to life. I'm hoping with a bit of gloss on it, it won't look too bad. I mean, essentially I could fill that, or I could spend a lot more time rubbing it down, but I've already spent probably half an hour or so doing the initial one. So I'm just going to go with the next couple of sands, paper, and show you after that before we start glossing. Okay, so I'm now down onto the 800, and as you can see, let's have a quick look, see if it'll focus. It's got some of the imperfections out, light's fading, sun is setting, and I think we're going to be done for the evening. So I'm just going to finish off doing this. Of course, I'd love to get it perfect, but I think, apart from starting completely again, I mean, I could potentially yeah, I mean, I guess I could primer it again, which might get some of that bubbling out. I might do that actually. I'm going to consider that. There's nothing I can do. I can't spray it tonight, so I'm just going to continue just finishing off the sanding process, give it a clean down, and then make a decision in the morning as to, do I wait and re-primer and then gloss. I guess for a can of primer for a £5, and you know, another day's wait is probably the best idea. So guys, once I've finished it, I will give you the final finish. Cheers. Evening guys, how you doing? So unfortunately I didn't get the opportunity to finish the grill last night, the top grill on the ST. I sanded it the best I can. It doesn't look too bad now actually. A lot of the imperfections have actually come out, which I'm really glad, but it's still got some holes in it. It's not the greatest, but I'm not going to spend any more time in it. I'm now going to give it a primer, so hopefully we can get this primed today, get it dried overnight, probably leave it the whole day to dry, and then might be able to give it a gloss tomorrow if the weather holds out tomorrow. Yeah, so wish me luck. So I've got the first coat of primer on, but you can see I don't think I'm going to rectify this grill. I think it's probably had it just too many imperfections on it where I did it the first time. Maybe I should have just left it and gave up on this one and go and actually buy a new one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to gloss it just because I've got the gloss now. Just keep it going for a little while longer, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy a new grill at some point. Bit of a shame really. Evening guys, so I've done my final coat of primer, and it's kind of, I originally ruined it from the start, so I tried to salvage what I could, but unfortunately it's not in the best of conditions. I'm gonna have to buy a new one, but for the moment I've started the glossing process and I'm gonna try and be as careful as I can with this. But if you are doing this yourself, just take your time. Certainly with the primer stage, if you go over the top, you'll end up with streaks and basically ruin it. So unless I strip the whole thing back, which I'd have to get it dipped or something to strip it, there's no way I could physically do that or sand it down myself. It is what it is, guys. I'll show you what I've done so far. So this is the first coat of gloss. You can see where it's run before on the primer, but that was originally there, so there's nothing I can do with that. I mean, from a distance it doesn't look too bad. When you get up close, there's certainly a lot of imperfections, which is a real shame. But as I say, I think I'm just gonna have to buy a new one and start it again and do it properly. But as for now, give it a couple more coats of gloss and then I'm calling it a day, because I am fed up with it. Right guys, so I've now done a final coat of gloss. As you can see, it doesn't look that bad actually. The other day it looked awful, but the gloss has covered up some of those imperfections, although they're still there. But I think that will do for the moment. I'm going to give up on this now. I'm not going to mess around with it too much more. So I think on that is the final note for glossing the front grille. So once you get started, you can't stop. I've now decided to we're going to gloss the rear wiper. Now I was looking at doing a delete, but I do a lot of motorway driving, and during the winter months it's quite useful to have a rear windscreen wiper, so I'm going to gloss it. Taking this off so far. The other part I'm gonna have to get off tomorrow. It's getting too late, so I just want to get these glossed and add that to the collection of glossing before the weekend is started again, because I'm going to get the M vents done. So I just wanted to tidy up the car. So there you go, rear windscreen wiper is now going to be glossed. Yeah, hi guys, back with another video. Grill done, glossed, gonna get back on the car. Been driving around this week with the grill off, and yeah, I actually quite like the look. If I could somehow modify it slightly, I quite like that open look. But nevertheless, we're going to get this back on the car now. Thank God it's taken me forever to get done and dry. It's come out not too bad. Where some of the imperfections the other day, it's actually worked out all right. So let's get this done. Right, while it's off, quick look at the AirTech intercooler. Can't see much apart from the word, but it's down there. It has the scoops on the side, so it filters more air in on that version. But there you have it. Right, let's get this done. Right, and there you have it, back on the car. And to be honest, from almost pulling what hair I have left on my head out, it doesn't look that bad. We'll get the badge on. Yeah, not bad. So you then have this piece, which is the AirTech bit I bought with this part here that filters the air into the cone filter. As you can see, actually leaving it off, it's a lot more open. If I can show you there, the air will actually come in better over the engine. So I'm tempted to leave it off, but so if I put that on there, which then clips in, and it filters the air through here, through the grille, through here, onto this part, and filters onto the cone. Tempted to leave it off, but we'll put it on for the moment. It's part of it, so we'll put it back on.